Okay, I'm going to make a short video on the Destiny board in Albion Online. As you can see here, I'm on my Ox. I'm kind of a cool dude. Rocking my Frost Staff, my blue robes, which luckily match, and once I hit tier 5, they'll be red, and I'll be very sad because I hate everything. I just... Yay! Item sold. What do you know? Alright, anyway. So I was going to go over something about the Destiny board and learning points, just because I feel like there's some information in there that people just don't understand. Just things I've noticed after I've been playing this for about a week. Just kind of jump right into it. So the Destiny board obviously is broken up into a couple different sections. You have your adventurer direction, which is very linear. It doesn't branch out or anything. It just unlocks better mounts, better cape, bags, stuff like that. You have your fighter, reaver, this thing which is also linear, which just helps you kill mobs better. It just gives you damage increases towards these targets. Then the left side of your Destiny board, well, for the most part, anything connected to these two swords right here. This is all fighting stuff. So I have sloth and staves, which this is your mage section. Then you have your hunter and then your leather sections. Then you have your warrior and your plate sections. So, these, as you can see, they're broken up. So it's not like you have to use melee weapons in order to increase your plate stuff or your warrior stuff. It's all very, branched out from that point. As you can see, I've done a little bit of frost stabs. I've gotten my cloth armor going on. I've also leveled up my leather armor, my shield, and then also my plate armor. What this allows me to do is, since I know for a fact that I want to use frost stabs, that's definitely the weapon I want to use. It lets me, give me the ability to use books if I want to for an offhand, any cloth gear I want, any leather gear I want, shields, and any plate gear I want. So all my armor and offhands are covered in case I want to use a one-hand, two-hand frost staff or switch up my armor, which is very, very helpful because I've used, if I'm fighting around in the world, I'm using a DPS build or for a PvP build. I'm going heavy damage with my frost staff, but if I'm in a dungeon, I like to tank, so I usually grab a shield and some plate armor. Then I'm kind of like a CC tank. Gives me a little bit more availability. Now, if you're someone who knows for a fact that they want to be like a plate wearer, and that's it, then specialize in plate wear, but maybe you don't know what weapon you want to use, then you can kind of open yourself up for that. In the crafting section, you have everything connected to this anvil. Anything to the anvil is regarded for crafting. So any warrior wares, which is the melee weapons, or they're not just melee weapons, but the like sword, hammer, stuff like that, shield. Your plate armor is connected to this tree. Your hunter one, which is your bow, your staff, daggers, the wild staff, which is a nature staff kind of thing. Then like a torch, quarter staff, stuff like that. That's all in the hunter's ones. So you have leather and then all those weapons. And the mage one, which is your cloth gear and then also your staves. Then it also branches down into like tool makers, so you can make the hammers, sickles, pickaxes, stuff like that. You can make capes, bags, and demo hammers. Then you have your refiner, which is also in the crafting section, which helps you refine better materials. So all that's connected to this section. And then these two down here, these are just kind of standalone. So you have the farmer one, which is for alchemy, cooking, and then also animal training, which I think you can use for mounts, and then also helps you with cooking later. And then you have the gathering one. This one's really, really important. As you see, it branches into 5 more sections for sickle, pickaxe, skinning knife, axe, and and a stone hammer. And then these keep going. And these keep going. So what I wanted to mention was the importance of learning points and when you should and shouldn't use them. Now, this might not be exactly perfectly accurate, but it's something that I've noticed and I think it's worth noting and help people understand. So, with learning points, anytime you reach 30%, so as you can see here on my courier one, once you reach the 30% mark, which is right here, you can use learning points to finish out the rest of the level. Okay? So that's really helpful if you want to accelerate that process. So you're like, okay, I really want to be good at gathering stone. I'm going to use my learning points as soon as I can. That way it helps me go faster. So I only have 33. I could use this if I want to, but I'm saving it for the lumberjack one. I want to be able to gather really good trees. I might do this one afterwards, but as of right now, I'm just doing the one with the lumberjack. See, the other ones can't even use it yet, so I can't even bother with that. But it starts at 40, and you'll notice that as I go past the bar, it reduces the amount of learning points I need. So if I want to maybe gather a lot, save the learning points for later, you can do that. But if you really want to just, hit that first level, which is what I would recommend, as soon as you hit 30%, dump your points into it. That's going to be really, really helpful because it just opens up, especially if it has rewards. So like this one has a lot of rewards just for hitting level 1. That'll be awesome. Well, level 2, you don't get anything, so don't use your learning points for level 2 necessarily. Definitely use it for level 1. Unless you're just really psyched about gathering, then maybe you can use learning points for that. I noticed that the things that are really helpful for learning points, because you don't get that many, you get 20 a day if you have premium. So I have 33 right now. I'll get another one maybe in an hour or so. And then I can use that lumberjack and use it on the lumberjack one here. What I noticed is if you know for a fact of something that you definitely want to use, so I'm definitely using the frost staff. Look, it's level 11 out of 100. I've gotten a lot of levels on this. That's because anytime it hits 30%, I put a learning point into it. I'm going to accelerate this as fast as I possibly can because it has look at all these rewards. Level 1 rewards, level 3, 6, 10, 15, 20. I get a ton of rewards for putting points into this. So I want to use those learning points as much as I can just to make this go faster. And then also, whenever I've been playing, I've noticed that I really like the Great Frost Staffs. So anytime this reaches 30%, I also learn it as fast as possible. Now, this takes a lot of experience, so this is definitely worth it, if you know for a fact that you're going to be using it. Otherwise, you're wasting your learning points. So don't just dump in learning points at 30% just because you can. You're going to waste them. So save them for ones that you know you really want to use. Now, for crafting, I haven't really put a lot of points into crafting, or learning points. I've been learning them. Like, see, I can make cloth sandals. I can make cloth heads. I haven't made any cloth robes. I haven't needed to. I don't think I've made anything. I haven't made any warrior stuff. I haven't made any hunter stuff. I have been making a lot of frost staffs because I want to make myself some really good frost staffs. So I don't put points into this. I could, but I don't because you get a lot of experience from studying these things. So if you don't need the money, you get a lot of experience just by studying them. So you make them. You can either do you can do 3 things. You can study them, which destroys them and gives you a ton of experience or fame or honor, whatever this stuff is called. You can salvage them, which breaks them into their components, so it will break it into more wood and ore, which you could do, but it doesn't really. I don't think it's really that worth it. Or you could sell it on the auction house. So I usually do about half of mine I study and about half of my sell in the auction house. Every time I make a batch, just because it's giving me a little bit of money, you'll notice at the beginning of this recording, it's just sold one, so that's awesome. And then it can buy me more pieces. If I want to make another one later, I can basically just buy the mats again and make another one if I want to. But I haven't been putting points into this. I've just been leveling it up just the natural way, and it's only like it's still level 11, so it's doing pretty good. But I've also made a ton. So I can make the tier 5 ones. I can use the tier 5 ones, but I don't have the resources for it because I can't farm them. That's why I think the single most thing to put points into is anytime you can get a tier of this, you put points into this as soon as you can. Now, see, look, I can't. I don't have enough because I was using it on a couple other silly things that I didn't really need. So if you're wanting to gather stuff, I would shoot for these adept ones as fast as you can. As soon as you hit 30% and you have the learning points, use it. It'll make you gather faster. It'll make it where you can gather better stuff. Very, 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 very helpful. With other things, I wouldn't really use them. I mean, you can if you want. Do whatever you want with the learning points. But, I'm not going to put points in these plate things. I'm just going to wear them. If I wear them and I level it up, then awesome. If not, I don't care. I'm not going to put points into these because they'll level up on their own, but there's no sense in wasting the learning points. Same thing goes for the shield. I'm not going to waste the learning points on these. I'm not going to waste learning points on these. I say wasting, sorry. Getting to level 1 as fast as possible is extremely important. So as soon as you can get level 1, use it. That'll unlock the adept stuff. But using it level 2, 3, 4, 5, stuff like that, I wouldn't really because it's not that important. As you use them, it'll level up. As you can see, my leather jacket's level 6. I could put points into this if I want to, but I don't care. I'll level it up eventually. But the frost staff, yeah, I wanted to put points into this every single time, so it's a much higher level. But as you can see, the other one's like level 7, so it's not like they're that far behind. They're just not getting the learning points, So that's just something to think about when you're going into this. Obviously, early on, you kind of just put points into whatever. You're not really sure what you're going to use. Once you figure out something that you definitely want to specialize in, use the learning points for that, and really only that, because that's what you're going to be saving your time on. If you're doing these things only, then you're saving yourself time because you're not having to use as much experience just to level up. It'll cost you, it'll save you, instead of doing 100% of the experience bar, you do it at 30, then you level up, and you do it at 30 again, you level up, do it at 30 again. It just goes a lot faster. So there's something to think about. Hope that was helpful. I'll dance for you now. Yeah. There we go. All right.